We got another roster list for you guys, and this is from popular demand, and I did a little poll, and it did pretty well. And so today we're gonna do... What are we doing again? Oh! Yeah. Today we're gonna do... I'm just getting the joke out of the way, guys. I'm just getting the joke out of the way, don't worry. So yeah, Invincible Versus was a game that's just been announced about a summer game. No, it's not a summer game. It was the Microsoft one. So during the Microsoft conference, they announced the game, and it was like, oh my god, we got an Invincible game. But not just that, we got an Invincible game made by the people who did the 2013 Killer Instinct. And it's also a 3v3 like Marvel vs. Capcom. As someone who's read the comics and loves the show, I'm very thrilled about it. I really am. And I figured, why don't we just make a list? And this is gonna be my own taste. So if there's characters that are like, I want that character in Invincible to be in that one. Well, sorry, no, I didn't put him in because I put that character in, and etc. etc. I hope you guys enjoy. I got some ideas flowing, and let's get started. And there we go, we're using GIMP, of course, because I'm a lazy bitch. I try to set up to look similar to... Does anyone remember the game Power Rangers Battle for the Grid? I tried to make it kind of a little bit similar to that game, like style-wise. Because I figure like that's a good fit for it. It's like a 3v3, and also by the way, shout out Battle of the Grid. People should check that game out. But yeah, this is gonna be what I set the look, the template for it. So I'll post it in the link in the description if you want to try and use it. But so we're gonna try to set the characters, and here's the characters we know has been announced already. So we know Adam Eve, Invincible, Omni-Man, Thala, Bulletproof, Explode, and Lunkin has already been announced for the game. And we know there's gonna be a lot more coming in. So we're just gonna open up some character ideas, and we're just gonna toss them in. And obviously, I think the first major character that I think everyone that has to be in the roster, or at least or has already been basically confirmed, right over here. Robot's obviously the most logical character to put in. I imagine him is gonna be more like a setup character. You probably gonna set up maybe drones, or maybe he's more add projectiles and stuff. Like, I think he's definitely gonna be like a character we could easily expect to show up. I'm curious if they're gonna have costumes again, because I'm thinking like is Mark gonna have like multiple costumes with Invincible, like they're doing Invincible War stuff. If we're gonna get like evil robot later on in the comics, it'd be cool. I hope they start doing stuff. Get that Rudy, Rex, whatever skin to him. But yeah, I think Robot is the logical choice to be in the game. Since we add a Robot, of course, we're gonna add in Monster Girl. Monster Girl is probably gonna be the heavy, the Hulk or the Juggernaut. It's gonna be more like heavy attacks, probably some armor abilities. I don't think there's gonna be a switch mechanic. I think like it'll start with her as as the little girl form, and then turn into the monster form. So that's what I'm kind of imagining how she's gonna play. She might be a grappler. That's what I'm gonna say. I think she's gonna probably be the grappler of the game. So every fighting game, needs their jobber, their Dan Hibiki of the game. So of course you gotta put the Immortal into the game. I promise you guys, Immortal is much cooler in the comics than he is in the show. In the show, he's just a wuss. Omni-Man! That's basically all he is. Why would you do this to us, Abraham Lincoln? Why would you do this to us? Like, Immortal is definitely going to be a striker. I'll probably use him as more like a rushdown character. Probably would just starts charging in. Charge in, think later. Which, that's basically what he did when he fought Omni-Man. But yeah, so we had to have Immortal in the game, so here's the Immortal. Alright, so the next character is going to be a Duplicate. I'm curious how they're gonna handle her in the game. I'm imagining her gonna be like a puppet character almost. Like she'll just like send clones to herself as like projectiles or something, and she could just keep dying over and over, because that's basically her whole power set, is her just constantly making clones and then get brutally slaughtered. But she's constantly dying over and over again. So I'm imagining that she's gonna be probably like send people. Maybe you could have multiple hers in the thing and do more damage. She's definitely gonna be the most trickiest character I think for the devs to do, but I think they could do it. I think they could probably handle doing Duplicate in the game. So all right, the next character we're gonna be adding is Alan. I really highly expect Alan's gonna show up. He's gonna be voiced by Seth Rogen. I am in the game, probably not, but they'll probably get like a impersonators probably. Yeah, Alan's probably gonna be more like I'm trying to figure out how he would be different. I guess it would just be similar to Invincible when it comes to with strength and speed. Probably give him more moves. I think he's just gonna be kind of like similar to Invincible. probably play style. Maybe you might get a grab or something. Could be, honestly, I could see him being a grappler. We'll see what they could do with Alan in the game. All right, next character up is gonna be Oliver. And I'm imagining Oliver to be like a faster, like Invincible. Like he moves a lot faster, but I also think it's gonna have less health, obviously, compared to Invincible. So he's gonna be a little faster, but less health, and that's how they're gonna balance him out. All right, next up, we're gonna add Black Samson to the game. For Black Samson, he's definitely gonna have more electricity power, so he could be a projectilist, but he could also be like a, you know what, I think for Black Samson, he's probably gonna be more of a charge character, similar to Guile, where he uses his electricity powers, and also probably do some more like moveset to him, so he's definitely, I would consider him charge character. Alright, next character up is going to be Ben Schwartz. Shapesmith. His abilities is definitely going to be more, you know, stretching, so he's probably going to stretch far. He's probably create, like, body forms in him. He could probably do that, like, what was it, that cover form of his, where, like, he just covers everybody on that. He has, like a defense counter. I think it'd be cool. Alright, the next character, who recently just was introduced in the show, but he's definitely going to be a bigger character in the comics, is Britt. Now, the character Britt is going to be a very tricky character to probably use, because Britt's whole gimmick is that he feels no pain, he's invulnerable to everything. So the way I would set Britt up is that like he's completely armored. So when people do attacks on him, he's gonna be hard to combo into because he'll feel the damage, but he's not vulnerable like to it. Which I think the way we would probably demonstrate that could probably be like a level up system. Basically, when you level up a super, he probably like gets more like armor to himself, so you can't. So he's trickier to combo. That's probably the way I would probably set him up as. That would be probably his gimmick. And the last character put on this side would be Tech Jacket, which we saw. He had a cameo in the Invincible War thing, but he's definitely gonna show up as he's gonna be a major character probably for next season because he's part of the the battle with the Viltrumites. And he's the Iron Man in the game, straight up. He's just the Iron Man in the game. So he's gonna be all like, you know, projectile beams, you know, combos, and overall character. He's just gonna be basically Iron Man, but more violent because the Invincible game is rated M, and it's gonna be a gore fest, so it's gonna be fun. Alright, next up is gonna be Conquest. And similar to what I said to Monster Girl, he's gonna be the Juggernaut for the game. He's just gonna be all brute, all light power. Like, he's gonna be the heavy damage character to the game. He's so lonely. Another character we're gonna be adding, that's just been introduced in season 3 in a big way, was Powerplex. My idea for Powerplex is we give him a comeback mechanic. Basically, kind of like what Dark Phoenix has with Marvel 3. He would start going ultra crazy and like spazzing out, about to like explode. So he would start like electrical charge, so he becomes way too powerful, kind of like his attacks are gonna be more like his projectiles will be across the screen, and he's gonna basically be invulnerable. And that's basically gonna be like his, like, if they have level 3s in the game, that's gonna be like he's gonna become the Dark Phoenix from Marvel 3. Except not as overpowered, guys. Don't worry, it's not gonna be as overpowered. That's how I think they would do with Powerplex. Next character is probably my favorite characters from the show, which sadly they're dead, but you never know, they could probably bring them back in some form. The Mallor twins. I hope they could bring them back at some point, but I doubt it. They don't come back in the comics. In the show, they could probably rewrite it. They could have it say, like, just in case he had a third copy or something. There's always another copy, but probably not. But yeah, I'm really excited the idea if they do the Mallor twins, because I imagine them being like two characters just on screen at the same time. Maybe they can do like kind of like Arya and Killer Instinct, where like once one, the other one pops in, and maybe they have like one has like a gun and the other one has the fist or something, or maybe you could switch in between. I think that'd be really cool if they were able to do something like that for the Mallor twins. That'd be dope. I think that'd be really dope. The character I am really excited to see is Space Racer. Basically, he has this gun that literally kills a Viltrumite, just kills anything with like one shot. And he's definitely going to be the Lobo of the game. So I imagine him like kind of like Ghost Rider. He just summons his cycle, or space cycle basically. He's going to be probably rushed down with projectiles. I think he'd be definitely a cool addition to add to the game. Next character we're going to add is going to be Furnace. He's that little like fire dude, that little like basically that one character from Ben 10. I forget his name, but I think he'd be kind of a cool addition to the game. It's kind of a unique design, and you can do basically like some lava, maybe burn effects, and it's just for us like a small character to add in it. I think it'd be kind of neat. Next character we're gonna add is Tethered Tyrant. Who's that one dude that had like these little tentacles out of his stomach, and he wore the hat. I think he like there's a lot of advantages. Like he's basically, I'm thinking kind of like a Shumagoro rapper, like with little tentacles, all that grabbing onto people. I'm putting him over his boyfriend in the comics, Magmatic, because I think he's more unique. It also Furnace kind of does the job what Magmatic does. He's not just just another like flame, like lava fire guy. But overall, I think he would add more advantages to the roster. So we're just gonna add him. We can't do an Invincible roster without Battle Beast. Battle Beast would just be insane. He's just gonna clobber people. He's definitely gonna be rushdown tank. That's what he. Could also be a charge character. I can see him as also, but yeah, I'm definitely would like to see Battle Beast. And don't worry, everyone. Make sure I let everyone know. Angstrom Levy is going to be on the roster. I guess I should have put him in sooner. I think I probably should have. So I see Angstrom as like the Quan Chi of the game. So he's probably going to be constantly teleporting. He's going to do like his basic like portals. Probably like his grab could probably him chucking people through portals and coming down. You could probably open up portals with like, like maybe the zombies or like the dinosaurs from like the other one and just start tagging the individual with it. He would definitely be a really cool character to fight against or play too. So this is going to be our only character from going to be the Lizard League, but he's definitely a good choice. Komodo Dragon. And he's not just gonna be on his own. I would like to see I would have him be more like a Captain Commando, I would say, where like he had like his little squadrons come in. So like he would have his other like Lizard League guys come in and help him. That's how I would probably use him as, but also use him as so he's just gonna summon his Lizard League crew, fight the others. Now the last two is characters who are not been introduced in the show yet. But first off, Dinosaurus. A dude that turns into a literal dinosaur. This is made by the Killer Instinct devs. I could see him using a lot of Richter's like playstyle with it. He's gonna be crazy for sure, and it's gonna be very fun, and I can't wait. Dinosaurs, I would probably play day one. He's probably my main, Dinosaurs. And of course, the last character, gotta be Freddie Mercury himself, Thrag. So how I would try to make Thrag different from Omni-Man Invincible is I would see like Thrag is more. I would make him a stance character. I would definitely make Thrag more of a stance character. So it'll be like different techniques you'll probably use to fight. I'll purposely try and make him more complex than like the other characters. I want him to feel like a boss. Like he's definitely gonna feel like a boss character. And I can't wait for the scene of the show because he's definitely been announced. They already casted him, so I'm curious. Who did they get? Maybe Bryan Cranston? John Bernthal? Clint Eastwood? I don't know. It could be anyone. And there we go. That's our list. We have right there 28 characters. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And wait a second. What is this?
A new opponent is ready to face you.
Oh my god. DLC row. Oh my god. So yeah, I figured this is enough. Now we're going to get to DLC. And the DLC is we're going to throw whatever. I think it's obvious. Agent Spider. We're basically having an excuse to put Spider-Man in this roster. That's basically all we're doing. So he's just gonna be Spider-Man. He's just gonna play as Spider-Man. It's just gonna be Spider-Man. So as DLC characters go, I think he'd be a good choice to have in the game just for DLC. Next character up, Omnipotus. Now I'm curious how he's gonna be handled because in the comics he's only shown up in 3 issues. And the show, barely at all. He's just like an ultra power individual. We don't really see what he does, but in the game, they probably could show what he does. And he's just gonna be, he's definitely gonna be huge. I imagine him as the, what was it, the big dude that was in Capcom vs. Tatsunoko. I forget what his name was. I imagine he's just gonna fill up the entire screen. Also, if they want to, he could just be like a solo character. No, he doesn't get any assists. He's just like this big dude, and you just incorporate what they did for Tatsunoko into that. That'd be interesting. I think that'd be pretty interesting. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, guys. Another character that was left out of the main roster, which I feel like I probably could have had more room to fit him in, be Darkwing. More specifically, Darkwing 2. And his abilities is basically he would just keep walking through the shadows and keep popping out. So I'll definitely see him as using Scorpion's teleport, or maybe as he's just his crouching is just being him going in the shadow realm, and he could probably keep phasing in and out. That'd be cool. I think that'd be cool. Yep. So the next characters, well, technically the next 3 characters are just gonna be all characters that were murdered by Omni-Man in the first episode of the show. It's gonna be Aquarius, Red Rush, And War Woman. So we're just gonna add all 3 of the Guardians of the Globe as part of DLC, so they'll probably be a pack. So I guess I explain each one. So Aquarius could be like Aquaman, Red Rush could be the Flash, and War Woman's could be Wonder Woman. Kind of that kind of play styles, I would assume, or like inspiration from. There's definitely gonna be some changes, but yeah, that's what I would probably set them up as. And I put those 3, and I didn't even put really Darkwing 1 in because I think Darkwing 2 has more uniqueness to him, so I just throw that in. And by the way, I'm looking at the main roster we have. I'm noticing we're missing a lot of female characters. I'm noticing. So there's Duplicate, there's Adam Eve, and then there's Thala, but there's not really any more of this side. And just letting you guys know, I'm not putting Anissa on this roster. Anissa's not going to be on this roster for obvious reasons. But so I would probably start moving people. So we're going to move Tech Jacket off the roster, so we can add another character that's gonna show up in the show. So we're adding the character Knockout. Knockout is basically gonna be like the Dudley of the game. So she's gonna do some boxing moves, and I think that'd be kind of a cool idea for her. So I'll put Knockout on the main roster, so that way we get more females in the game. Because I want to keep the Guardians of the Globe as DLC, but at least having our female in there to even it out. Which the more I'm looking is the more I'm like, because now we got 3 more spots, and I'm trying to think, do we have any guest characters? Oh, you know what? There's a character I completely forgot. Hold on a second. I forgot this character completely. Yeah, so we're gonna add in Universa. She's an alien from like another universe, and she shoots like energy beams and like stuff out of her staff. Like she can fly. She's durable. Like she's definitely gonna show up next season for the roster. Maybe be a good fit. Now we gotta move someone out of this into the bottom or delete them. And you know, I think it's gotta be Furnace. I'm sorry all Furnace fans, but we're gonna have to cut him out of the roster. And then let's move Universa onto that spot. Here's the thing about making a roster, guys. Everyone says, oh, it's an easy job. You gotta divine and conquer and pick what characters will stay and others will go. And one of these cases is that character had to go. Okay, now we got 3 more. We got 3 more for this roster. Now this is very tricky. Like, who would I put? Because there's more characters we have to add. Like, I didn't put freaking Kid Thor in the game, which that's Knockout's like husband or boyfriend in the comics. And I already told you guys I'm not putting Anissa, so we're not doing Anissa. There's a bunch of wolf characters. We got Science Dog. We got Wolfman. You know what? We're gonna put Wolfman in the roster, because then we could say Saber Wolf is in the game. Let's put him in. Just have the excuse for having Saber Wolf. So we're gonna just toss him right in there. But now we got 2 more characters, and I'm still thinking of a couple guest characters. I thought of one that would be, you could say this is like an April Fool's joke, but I don't know. I think it could be fun. I think it would be a good choice. So a character I would think would be a good choice for the game, for funsies, Donald. I'm just imagining like just as a normal guy on the roster, and you just well, not normal, he's a cyborg, but like still, he'd be a great choice for the game, hands down. And I could see him being used a lot online. And then you could have like Cecil sort of be part of his his moves, where like be like, you know, using his teleport to summon things for him and all that. Like it'd be cool. So we're putting Donald in, and now we have 1 space left in this roster, and oh my god, this I didn't think it was gonna be this hard, but now you have to think of like who would be good for it. Maybe we'll start looking at brutes, because I'm thinking like, should I cut another character off this and put another character into it? Like Angstrom's gonna stay for sure. I can see cutting Komodo Dragon out, because I was thinking oh, you have like the Lizard League in it, but like you can cut them out, I think. And you know what? Let's do it. Let's cut them out. I saw a comment in one video saying like, hey, you should cut out all the bits of you trying to figure out stuff. And I'm like, nah, it's trying to show exactly what I'm thinking. So yeah. So we cut Komodo Dragon out so we could fit more characters. One character I was thinking as I'm looking, there's so many. I could have a Titan in there, but there's too many similar characters left. Like, cause I want to like add some variety. I don't want to like, because people are joking online, says like, oh, this whole game's just gonna be all Superman, and it's like, no, it's not gonna be all Superman. I could put multi-Paul in it, but I think it's fine as it is. So we're gonna place Komodo with Doc Seismic, because Doc Seismic is at least like, there's at least like ideas you could do with him, because he can do a lot of shockwave attacks. He could definitely add more like creatures. So I would probably, when he summons like creatures, it'd be like the how like Joe's able to summon like the zombies and like an MVC2. That's how I would probably have it as. Yeah, I think Doc Seismic would be a fun choice. And okay, so this is looking a little better, but so there's like still like, I don't know. All right, so let's start moving people around and figure out, like, should Donald even be DLC for one? Like, I think Donald could be main roster for all we know, because for funsies, because I don't know if anyone wants to buy him. All right, so I made a decision. We're gonna keep everything as is. We're not gonna add any more. Probably after this video uploads, I'm probably gonna regret something, and someone's gonna come up with characters that are gonna be like, why this and this and this and this? And it's like, you're right, you are right. And I feel like we need to add a guest character, and that character that I want in this game so much is Spawn. Spawn would just be amazing. He's an image character, so he fits. He has to show up in the universe. But the issue is Amazon doesn't own him. And if Amazon doesn't own the character, they might not just put the character in the game. Which sucks, but it'd be so cool, man. It would really be really cool if they were to add Spawn to the game. But there's a likelihood that ain't gonna happen. I think they even confirms this, like, there's 0 chance of Spawn being here. But a man could dream, right? A man could dream having Spawn in his roster. If the game gets popular, we can make that happen, guys. I think we can make that happen. Yeah, so this is going to be our roster. This is going to be my choices for the Invincible roster. I think I have a lot of selections. I definitely had to rearrange a whole lot. This was definitely a tough pick. There's a lot of characters I cut out, and I'm kind of annoyed that I cut out. It is what it is, and I think for what it is, I think this would give us excitement. I think this would definitely get people like, oh, this is cool. This would definitely get people to go like, oh, I want to try this and this. So I guess comment down below if you have your own roster picks. Comment down if you think it sucks. Tell me it sucks. I listen to like criticism and all that. The more you guys talk, the more it gets me better. Don't text, nice video, guys. Like, just give me criticism, or just say why you like certain stuff in the video. So if you guys like the video and you want to see more, yeah, keep asking for more. If you got roster ideas, send in the comments below. I'll put the links also for, like, if you guys want to make your own roster. I'm curious what you guys would come up with, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.
Come on, baby, let's take my car to the place where dreams come true. It's a mile off the interstate, and if you wanna dance, well, that's there too.